Oh, there you are. Right above the stupid... Huh. Never realized that. That's right above the power steering box. It's just gonna splatter all over everything. Well, it's just the law of nature that you can't pull a radiator without making a mess. Even a little mess. So I'm gonna get that drained out. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling the top plate off and hoses and whatnot. Then when that's drained out, I can clean up my mess. Okay, so right now, getting your fan out and getting all this stuff out of the way. So no matter what you're doing in here, when you tear into something like this, take the time to inspect, like to inspect your belts. I'm changing the radiator, but you could look it over good. Look at your hoses. Look at your fan. I'm getting rid of this altogether, so it's not a big deal. But take a good look at your fans. Look for cracks, your fins. Make sure they're not falling apart. There's not stuff missing, bent, broke. I have had a fan blade come off. Fortunately, the hood was closed and I wasn't underneath working on the hood, but a blade came off and come up through the hood and stuck through the hood. So that could hurt somebody pretty bad. It could be a deadly thing. So take a good look at this stuff. And not just for danger, but you don't want to have a breakdown because of a bad belt or hose that you obviously could have seen when you were in here. So take those opportunities when you have them. I got all that stuff out of the way. I need to find 4 bolts for the water pump pulley because I took that big spacer out. I still need to bolt it to the water pump. So I need to get 4 of those fine thread bolts. I'm going to look and see if I have any. I don't know if I do. Well, I have my transmission cooler attached to this old radiator. I'm going to cut that off. It's got these little plastic, this hardware to hold it on. I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm going to hard mount this like I did my power steering cooler to the front here. And I'll get all this out of the way and take care of that. But I don't want to attach anything to my new radiator and take a chance of putting a hole in it or having something else go wrong. So we'll do that. I'm going to pull this out the rest of the way. Then we can mount that cooler in here and I can clean up anything else that needs attention. Well, on a positive note, I don't think it was a full gallon that spilled on the floor, so mess is pretty minimal. All right, now I can pull that out of there. That's an old timer. Okay, I've got everything out of the way. Got a little bit of cleanup to do. There's a bunch of leaves in here. I don't know if that was restricting any airflow, having leaves piled up in here, but we'll get that all cleared out. Figure out how I'm going to mount this. Now, one thing I kind of feel we need to talk about is this water pump pulley. You're pulling off the fan and spacer, which has a bolt like that. You can't use that bolt. You need to replace that bolt. And you can't put a bolt in that's very long because it'll go through and catch that water pump right there. So you need to be aware that your bolt needs to be under an inch, because that's an inch long bolt probably would hit. So I picked up some bolts. I thought I had some here at home, but I didn't. So these are, I think they're about a 1/2 inch, something like that, 1/2 inch long. And that's long enough to go through the, obviously, lock washer and to go through the water pump pulley and to catch through the back of the water pump shaft plate there. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt that together before I move on. And while I'm in here with everything out of the way, I'll go ahead and put the belt back on, and then we can jump over here to installing this radiator. Well, I think I'm all ready here to throw the radiator in. I secured that cooler. I threw some paint on here and cleaned things up, rerouted some of the wires, put short bolts in the water pump pulley, so they're not going to be dragging in there. And so now I'm ready for the radiator.